Let's watch the Grozny fire away. Tube's going to open. Away they go. Oh, those are ejecting as they take off as well. Oh, that's so cool. Absolutely awesome. Hello guys, and welcome back to Sea Power, naval combat in the missile age. Big thanks to Triassic Games and Microprose for giving me early access to this awesome game, but do bear in mind that it is work in progress and therefore subject to change. If you'd like to check out the game and wishlist it for yourself, I'll make sure to leave a link to the Steam page in the description. In this one, we're going to be taking on another Cold War gone hot scenario, but this time as the Soviets. Our goal is to try and intercept a cargo vessel carrying high-value military cargo from the US to Norway. We are approaching the vessel near the Faroe Islands, and we'll also have to deal with its escort that we've been given a heads up on. Today our ships include one Kinder-class missile cruiser. This one is the Grozny. We have ourselves one Kara-class missile cruiser. This one is the Kerch. And finally, we have ourselves one Krivak 1 class frigate. This one is the Storo Shevoy. Alright, so as you can see, we already have tracks on our radar. The Grozny starts the scenario with both of its air search radar and surface search radars on. So we can see these 4 tracks. Now they're not heading straight for us, so I don't imagine it's a huge priority for us to identify them. However, we can select the Grozny and we can right click these tracks in order to request identification. Before we do that, let's just check what the radar thinks they are. It thinks they're airliners. So hopefully they'll just comply. Track 07004 refused to comply. What about 7003? They agreed to comply. So they are, of course, an airliner. There we go. Perfect. Now, based on our information here, they assume that these 2 vessels are merchants. Okay. So we'll do the same thing. We'll grab the Grozny. We'll ask them to identify themselves. This one is not our target. And the second one did not respond. I'm going to assume that they wouldn't make it so we're already more or less in visual range, but we could try and check that out. We'll just keep the radars on for now on the Grozny, whilst I do a couple more things. So assuming that none of these units are enemy, we're going to want to search for units that are most likely ahead of us. So what I'm going to do is 2 things. First of all, we're going to create a formation. So we'll set up the Kerch as our leader in the formation. So create a formation. We'll add both the Storo Shevoy and the Grozny to that formation. And then I'm going to edit the formation so that they come up alongside the Kerch. That way we create a nice straight line. That will be able to easier catch any ESM and allow us to maybe identify the location of enemy ships. We also have a second thing we can do, which is launch our helicopter. Though we did just pick up an ESM transmission from somewhere. It's in this direction. It's probably not that far away. Obviously, we're not going to pick up a radio transmission from 619, or actually 833 nautical miles away. It's most likely a lot closer. But what we're going to do is we're going to launch our helicopter. So we have a Ka-25 that's packed in the back of the Kerch here, and we can load it with 2 things, the sonar buoys or the AT-1 torpedoes. We can also leave it empty if we would like. We're going to load it with the sonar buoys, and we'll launch that so that we can drop a few of those in the water and maybe they'll identify enemy targets. So out it comes as the hangar bay opens. We'll make sure to watch that. It's really cool. You can just remove the HUD for the time being while that comes out. Helicopter blades folded up at the moment, coming up on its little lift. I really like how the hangar bay doors open 3 ways. It's super cool. Now they'll unfold those helicopter blades. Really interesting design on this helicopter, having the 2-tier helicopter blades. See our other ship in the distance there getting into position. And there go the blades. And soon that will start up and take off. Wonderful. Alright, once that's up in the air, we will tell it to go hunting, basically. I can turn its radar on, and we'll see if we can find any enemy targets. Meanwhile, yeah, the Storozhevoy, you can see that it's moving into position. The Grozny also spreading out. As soon as the helicopter's up in the air, I'll turn off the radar on the Grozny, because I don't think we're going to need it. I might just quickly check air search with both of my other ships here to see if there's anything else I need to worry about. There is a very large radar echo over here. Let's ask the Storozhevoy to try and identify that, making sure what it is first. It's most likely a merchant. Can't communicate with them. Okay. What can communicate with them? Something is tracking that. Maybe it's the helicopter. It is the helicopter. So it is another neutral merchant ship. Let's turn on the surface search radar. And I'm just going to drop off a sonar buoy basically immediately into the water here. See if there's any contacts nearby. And as soon as we drop that off, I'm probably going to go a bit higher so that the radar can see better over the horizon. So with this helicopter, the sonar buoys are held underneath, as you can see. So that's just dropped one off into the water there. That is pinging quite a few vessels ahead of us. Let's go ahead and move up to a higher altitude. We'll go to 1,000 feet for now. And there it is. Alright, we've got plenty of radar contacts. I can move probably back down to 500 feet. I don't need to be that high. We don't need to move any closer. It probably won't help us out much. We do need to figure out what is neutral and what is enemy here before we start throwing missiles around. Now, speaking of missiles, we should probably check what we have up our sleeve today. So the Kerch, it has access to goblets, which have a nautical mile range of 2 to 29. Almost 30. Then we have geckos, which are anti-air missiles. We have the Silex. So these are different anti-submarine variants for cruisers and frigates as well. Interesting. And the later version with the shape charge Rastrub that can be used against shipping. Okay, interesting. We've got the RBU 6000 anti-submarine mortar. So it's an anti-submarine rocket launcher. That's cool. And then we also have the RBU 1000, which is another anti-submarine and anti-torpedo rocket launcher. The Set 65 torpedo. Our 76mm gun. And the AK-630 Seawiz. Alright. What about the Grozny? What are we working with here? We have access to the Goa, which is 2 to 16 nautical mile SAM system. That's interesting.
Обнаружен электромагнитный сигнал. Контакту присвоен номер.
Then we've got some SSN3 Shadowks. We've got 8 of these. These have a range of between 23.5 and 242 nautical miles. That is pretty crazy. We also get torpedoes, we get our gun, and the Sievers. Okay, cool. What about the Krivak? What's that carrying? It is carrying Geckos, which are the anti-air, Silex. So this is the SSN-14A Silex. So I assume this is the original anti-submarine variant, and the Kerch, which has the SSN TAC-14B. Maybe that can fire them at ships. And then we also have RBU 6000 on here, set 65 torpedoes, and its gun. So we've got quite a lot of 76mm guns. What's the sort of range on those? It's okay. Okay. Well, we're most likely not going to be engaging with guns in this one. The KA-25 should probably keep moving around. We'll keep it next to the Kerch as we continue to move towards the enemy targets. We could also like shift maybe to the top side here. What is this? Enemy aircraft inbound. That's concerning. How far away is that? 76 nautical miles. Okay. Let's just do a ruler for that. We'll do a ruler from the Storoshevoy to that contact. It may be worth landing my KA-25, or at least turning to MCON for the time being. Although we will lose track with that being the case. Let's just drop off another sonar boy a little bit further up. I forgot to set off the air search radars on these, but it did spot that, so might be worth leaving them on. Maybe I'll leave it on with the Storoshevoy, and we'll turn it off on the Kerch. And we'll also MCON the Grozny. There's just EM emissions now, so something was spotting that. Yeah, it was the Storoshevoy. Okay, cool. Right, that's dropped another sonar boy. And at least it's giving us rough locations. We've actually identified this one as enemy. Why is that? I guess due to its electronic frequency. Okay. We'll bring the KA-25 back up. Oh, we have an AIM-5 in the air. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, let's just send our boy back to base. Because that is not good. If they are going to try and engage me with air-to-air missiles, the KA-25 needs to go home. Maybe I could, like, sit behind the Kerch at 20 feet. Use it as a barrier. That'd be kind of funny. Hopefully we can land before that's a problem. Gonna be close. Get down. That aim's coming in. Alright, okay, good. Right, we're gonna save our little helicopter. That's not fun. That fired it from so far away. How far is that? 40? Like 40 nautical miles? Fired like a aim-5 at my poor little KA-25? Sad. Alright, we'll wheel that back into the hangar for the time being because I have no idea if we have any weapons that are going to be able to engage that. I think our longest weapon that possibly could is on the Kerch. And that's only like, what, 30 nautical miles? Yeah, well out of range. However, we are getting into range of these other enemy ships. Now, I do need to be careful if I want to use the SSN-3. I might take the Grozny out of formation. Just because we don't want to get within this yellow circle, otherwise he won't be able to use his weapon system. So we'll just kind of turn him away. Good. Our radar contact is moving away again. The Kerch will put the helicopter away for now. It's a shame we can't engage that. It's going to make things really difficult, but we figured out where they are. The Sono boys are doing a good job of keeping their locations for us. And we are identifying these as hostile due to their electronic frequencies. So it's either a Perry or a Garcia, like Oliver has a Perry. This one is an Adams class or a Kunz class. This one is most likely the merchant vessel, since it's behind this one, which is either a Ticonderoga, Spruance, or Kid. Okay. Bring that map back up. Well, we roughly know what they are, so I'm quite happy to engage once we get into range. I might try and overwhelm the Oliver Hazard Perry or Garcia, because it's ahead of the rest down here. So what I'm going to do, we're going to move the Kerch south. I'm going to keep moving the Grozny away. We're going to get into missile attack position. Now if it is a Perry, they will have harpoons. Let me just check what these are. So then again, I'm not sure entirely on the class. I know the Oliver has a Perry is a frigate class, so yeah, the Garcia is there as well. The Garcia has Ruhr 5, Mark 46 and the Mark 30 gun, but the Oliver has a Perry does have harpoons, so that's kind of scary if it is. What about the Adams class? Slowly but surely I'll learn what these are. Adams class early. Harpoons again. Standard missiles. Adams class late. Still harpoons. Okay, so most likely harpoons flying at us. Because Kunz class also has harpoons. Good to know. And then we have the Spruance, which also has harpoons. The Kid class, which also could have harpoons. Those harpoons are really scary because they have a range between 3.5 and 65 nautical miles, so technically if they could see us, they would be firing at us, I imagine. Okay, well this is well in range. Let's see if we can fire a couple missiles at it. Kerch will get into position to do just that now. We have no information about these two, That's most likely a merchant, it says. And that's most likely a merchant. Okay. So now we just have to manage this engagement very carefully. I might want to go MCOM just to make sure that we're not presenting a target. As soon as the Kirsch starts firing its missiles, we'll also fire the Grozny's long-range missiles. I'm not entirely sure why it's not firing these missiles. Should be able to. It's just loaded them on the front there, as you can see. Maybe it has a different range against aircraft, because I believe it can be used as an anti-aircraft tool, and maybe the anti-surface engagement mode requires a shorter range. Well, we'll keep trying to move forwards. I think I should probably continue to head south. If I can bring myself in line with this Oliver Hazard Perry, or what is it, Garcia class, then we'll be able to engage it from quite far away. Let's just go full screen while I do this, it's much easier. So I want to come over here somewhere, really. We'll just erase that. The Storozhevoye is trying to stay in position, that's absolutely fine.
Вас понял. Курс 162.
Looks like we're currently going flank speed. Let's just speed things up a little bit. We try and get into range. I'm going to pull the Grozny back around, because we are going to want to maintain that track.
Вас понял. Курс 237.
With any luck, that aircraft's gone. It might be worth launching my helicopter again. Let's get the helicopter out as we continue on this route. I could just leave the helicopter next to me. But we won't have it go too far up. Make sure to turn on surface search radar. Alright. Hopefully we're getting into range shortly. I have a twin launcher on the front and on the back, it seems. Let's just move that KA-52 up to like 500 feet. This is super scary.
Вас понял. Курс 28. Вас понял. Курс 348.
Where is that turning? Turning to the left.
Вас понял. Вас понял. Курс 105.
What's the maximum range on these weapons? Is it maybe worth setting this one onto weapons free, just in case enemy missiles start heading our direction? It will much better engage those enemy missiles.
Атака невозможна. Необходима цель.
Вас понял. Вас понял. Атакую цель. 7000. 9.
So I think we might need our own radar contact in order to fire the SAN 3. Do I want to risk putting my radar on? Probably not.
Вас понял. Курс. Вас понял. Курс 167.
This is a tense position to be in. Can this fire at ships? It can. Okay, what might be worth doing, maybe it's time
Вас понял. Курс.
to
Есть прекратить огонь. Вас
get the
понял.
Grozny
Курс
to launch its
108.
missiles at the ship. And then we'll use the Kerch's missiles to do the same thing.
Вас понял. Вас понял. Вас понял. Вас понял.
We'll launch 4 in that direction.
9.
Обнаружен электромагнитный
And then we can
сигнал.
also launch
Вас понял. Вас понял. Вас понял. Вас понял.
these as well.
7000.
Oh, look at that.
Цель.
7.
That's cool.
0. 0. 9.
The Grozny is going to fire its missiles. Let's watch the Grozny fire away. Tube's going to open. Away they go.
7. 0. 0. 9.
Oh, those are ejecting as they take off as well. Oh, that's so cool.
Цель.
7. 0. 0. 9.
Absolutely awesome. One more to go.
Цель.
There it is.
0. 0. 9. Вас понял.
It's definitely a Perry class.
7000. 9.
This is an Adams. We've got a Sprunce. Okay. Well, we've got 4 missiles coming in from the Grozny, 2 missiles coming in from the Kerch. So these are, yeah, basically missile-mounted torpedoes. I wonder if that's going to drop the torpedo near the water, in the water near the Perry, or if it just collides. I have no idea how these weapon systems work. But this is traveling at 560 knots. This is traveling at 675 knots. So that works out pretty well, because hopefully they'll all converge at roughly the same time. It may be worth going weapons free now that we've engaged.
Атакую цель. 7000. 9.
See if we can use the SAs now.
Вас понял. Атакую цель. 7000. 9.
Well, they managed to shoot down one of these. Now moving in really low. 2 of the SSN-3s have gone down. The SSN-14Bs are getting pretty close. The missile missed as well. All the Seawers. Oh, okay. Quite a lot of defense on that. Oliver has a parry. Managed to
0.
take down both of those in time. I'm not sure the SSN-3s are going to get through on their own. I think it may be time. Just go
Вас понял. Атакую цель.
all in.
7000. 9.
I'm gonna get the SSN3s spread out
Вас понял. Атакую цель.
amongst
Вас
the
понял.
remaining
Вас понял. Атакую цель.
targets.
7000. 9.
Oh, this one's getting pretty close. Also, an SAN3 coming in. It's wiggling. It's wiggling. Oh, it hit the water.
7.
Just in front of the Perry. That was so close. Let's go weapons free. Time for the Kirch to have some fun. As the Grozny starts firing away the remainder of its missiles. Oh my god, okay. No.
300.
Цель.
Crikey.
Вас понял.
That aircraft's still hanging about.
31.
Обнаружен электромагнитный сигнал. Контакту присвоен номер.
7000. 21.
Цель.
Maybe this one can land on target.
21.
Опознана. Цель.
Oh, good hit.
7000.
Good hit.
Цель.
There it is.
0. 0. 9.
Right, the Kirch is just firing away now. Gonna try and continue engaging both of these ships, the Adams and the Oliver Hazard Perry.
9.
The Oliver Hazard Perry is very on fire. Might still be able to knock out this missile though.
Враждебные цели.
Launched its chaff. Chaff looks so cool in this game, it really does.
Ракета выпущена.
Oh, the Sea Whiz is failing.
7.
Oh, big hit.
9.
Massive hit. Oh, the Oliver Hazard Perry is going to go down after that. Look at that view. That is very cool. Especially when you're amongst the waves.
7. 0. 0. 9.
One Oliver Hazard Perry down. Gorgeous, gorgeous chaff effects. Looks like the Adams managed to shake off most of the missiles. Kirch is just finishing the job on the Perry, that's for sure.
Атакую цель.
7000. 11. Вас
Right, now the Grozny,
200.
it didn't fire its remaining missiles.
Вас понял. Атакую цель.
7000.
Oh wait, we've got the merchant ship. Wait, did one of the missiles must have got through? Wow. Okay. Well, we'll take it. Yeah, while I was admiring the Perry going down, I think maybe one of the Kirch's missiles, or not the Kirch's, the Grozny's missiles, broke through the Sea Whiz and actually hit the merchant ship.
0.
And we've sent that up in smoke, which is completed our objective. We'll try and finish off both the Adams and the Spruance. How's our helicopter doing? He's running for his life.
Ракета выпущена.
Let's turn off his radar
7. 0.
and we'll RTB
Вас понял.
because
Вас понял. Курс.
that helicopter is being hunted by some mysterious aircraft off in the distance.
Опознана как.
Вражеский самолет.
I'd like to launch more missiles at the Adams so that we can
1. 1.
make the Adams focus on those whilst the SSN3s come through for the Spruance. We'll just keep firing at the Adams.
Вас понял.
Ракета выпущена. Цель.
7. 0. 1. 1.
We have a rear launcher as well, so that will turn the ship, get that on target.
Ракета выпущена. Цель.
So cool.
0. 1. 0.
They are in absolute disarray. I don't think they can tell where my ships are still. They'll need a radar lock in order to fire their harpoons, I believe. Oh, that hit the water again.
0.
That is rough. Really close shot there, actually. From the SAN3. Another SAN3 coming in for the Spruance now. Oh, this one's gonna be thrown off by the chaff.
Вас понял. Атакую цель.
7000. 10.
Множественные враждебные цели.
Oh, there it is. Nice hit into the side of the Spruance. Oh, and another hit. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's going to knock that one right out. Now the Adams also on fire. Both of these in big trouble. The SSN3 coming in for the Spruance. Oh, it has no countermeasures left. Huge hit. Absolutely huge. Another one coming in to finish the job. After what was an incredibly intense start. Oh, the Adams just took another hit. Yeah, incredibly tense start. I was waiting for the harpoons to start flying, but they never did. We managed to maintain radio discipline, use the helicopter as much as we could. What a hero this little thing is. Gap in the missiles there. That might be because it was waiting for the helicopter to land. Oh, look at the distancing detail in this game. It's so cool. Both of those getting thrown off by the smoke. The Kirsch is not done. On weapons free, it's just constantly firing. My actions led to civilian casualties, apparently. Oh no, did this merchant ship got hit? Oops. Well, that's bad. One of the missiles must have veered off and hit this merchant. Well, that's the thing in this game that you gotta be wary of. And that's gonna cost me some points for sure. But the Adams is slowly but surely going down. Let's tell the Kirsch to cease fire, because that is just firing infinite missiles right now. And the poor Adams, it's got its own countermeasures going thanks to a bit of chaff there. But I don't think that's going to stop it from going underwater. Having a bad time. Well, mistakes were made with this merchant ship, but we got the right target. That was a lot of fun. And hopefully a good display of the Soviet ships for you guys. Since the objective's done, we can basically quit at any moment. You don't have to maintain the engagement after the objective is complete, but I thought it would be fun to finish off the rest of these ships. See if one of these can actually hit the mark. And they're all just dipping into the water just a little bit too soon. There's another hit. The last two coming in. Last three coming in. Alright. Last one. And unfortunately misses the mark. The Kirsch is still determined to take that out, huh? Let's tell it to cease fire. Still had the target of the Adams where I'd right clicked on it previously. Alright, well, there you have it, guys. The Soviet fleet absolutely decimating a Perry class Esperance and the poor Adams, which is going to be sinking momentarily. More missiles just coming in. As soon as the edge of that ship goes underwater, it's having a bad time. Alright, there it goes. One last explosion. Knocked it out. Down to the bottom with you. With that engagement complete, hopefully you enjoyed a look at this scenario. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.